Welcome to the Drew Yari Show.
Good evening, guys. It is... I know it's pretty late. It's 11:32 p.m. on a Friday. It's about to be midnight in a bit. I'm pretty much going to keep this show pretty short and sweet. But yeah, welcome to I'm playing. Welcome to the Crown Jewel review show. So yeah, Crown Jewel. It happened. That's really all I can say about it. It happened. It came and it happened. Man. I guess I can just really get into the show without really wasting any time. The pre-show, I caught like the end of the pre-show. I woke up pretty early. I went to go grocery shopping, and then I came home and made myself something to eat and turned it on because I got the notification that it was on, and I caught the end of the Nakamura and Rusev match, the pre-show match, and pretty much the end of it where Nakamura decides to headbutt Rusev in the nuts and go for Kinshasa, whatever the fuck it's called, and go for the win, 1, 2, 3. So yeah, that was about it. I'll be honest, I keep forgetting that Nakamura's even in the company because he's just been pretty much a non-factor since he's been on the main roster. He's really only had like one good match since he's been on the main roster, and that was against John Cena. Or was it John Cena? Yeah, it was John Cena. That was pretty much his only good match. Other than that, he's been phoning it in. I don't know why. I don't know if it's because they tell him not to do so much or because he's kind of... I don't know if it's a combination of him just like feeling that way. If he's just going, well, fuck, they don't have faith in me, so I might as well just not give a fuck. Or he's just like, you know what, I'm getting paid. I'm already on the main roster, so fuck it. I'm just going to do what I want. So I don't really know what to say about that. Once upon a time, Nakamura was perceived as a guy who was going to be like, on top. Like he was going to be a top guy. And when he made his, debut on Raw, not Raw, SmackDown, I was pretty fucking stoked. I'm like, okay, Nakamura's here. Let's see how this works. And what the fuck happened? He jobbed to fucking Jinder twice, which made no sense. He wins the Royal Rumble this year, which it felt like it never really happened. Like, it's a combination of like it happened and it didn't really happen, or did it happen? Like, I don't know. This whole year's been really long because like Black Panther came out in February and it feels like it came out like 40 years ago. But yeah, Nakamura won the Royal Rumble and went to face AJ in what should have been a dream match, but I don't know if it's just like, I don't know, like that match, it felt like it should have been something, but then you watch it at Mania, and granted, WrestleMania is like 25 hours long, so by the time that match came on, it felt like everyone was just tired. But it also didn't help that they decided to turn Nakamura into the fucking Hamburglar, or Japanese Nutcracker, whatever the fuck you want to call him. So he's just been a non-factor, and I wouldn't be surprised if he lets his contract run out and decides to go back to Japan. So yeah, and then Rusev is just Rusev. Rusev is never gonna win anything or be anything, and it sucks. I like Rusev, but they decided to kill the Rusev Day chant or the Rusev Day gimmick. Kill it until it can't fucking come back to life. That made no sense. But anyways, yeah. That match, 9 minutes and 30 seconds. Again, I only caught the end of it. I can't really tell you. I can't even really begin to tell you how the match was, but I'm assuming it wasn't that good. Anywho, moving to the main roster, the show opens with Hulk Hogan coming out, and immediately I'm just like, we're just going to start it off like that? Okay. He does this little shtick of, whoa, let me tell you something, brother. My Hulkamaniacs and blah, 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 blah. I can't do deep voices anymore. Fuck up my throat. He does his little shtick, and crowd likes it, I guess, and he decides, and he goes to the back. The first match of the night, first match of the World Cup tournament, Rey Mysterio versus Randy Orton. This match was 5 minutes and 30 seconds. Rey Mysterio, he still has it. He's been gone a while, and with all these injuries, he could still go out there and wrestle. Him and Randy had a pretty good match. Randy Orton it's weird because, the talk about him is that it just seems like he doesn't care. But when you put him in there with the right opponent, something comes out in Randy. Like when he's trying, when he actually gives a shit, then he gives a shit. Ray, obviously he likes Ray because he went out there and tried. They had a pretty good match. It was really short. It ended with Ray doing some weird, schoolboy counter, I guess, whatever you want to call it. Pins Orton. Here's one thing I never got about Randy Orton opponents is when Ray pins him, and again, it's a show. I know it's predetermined, whatever. But it's just like in storyline fashion. I just pinned Orton. I kind of embarrassed him. I pinned him in the most kind of unconventional way I can think of. Why not get the fuck out of the ring so he doesn't try to beat the shit out of you? And that's what happens. He literally is celebrating in front of Orton and walks towards him, maybe not on purpose, but kind of leans in, and then Orton RKO's him and beats the shit out of him. So there you go. This whole night is just Ray getting the shit beat out of him, and I'm pretty sure that's why he's here. I mean, I can't see him being in the world title hunt again. Maybe in a mid-card, championship, like a U.S. championship or whatever. But as far as him being in the world title hunt, you know what? I'll take that back. He'll probably be in the world title hunt. They want to put out those dream matches, quote unquote. Him and AJ, I'm pretty sure will have a good match, but he won't beat AJ or really do much of anything. He's really just here to put guys over. You know what? That's okay. When they bring back a lot of, the seasoned veterans, their job mainly is to put over young talent. Like Jericho is, he's truly the best in the world at it, Or, whenever RVD came back, those years ago, his job was to put over young guys. And that's Ray's job, and Ray, Ray can still wrestle. He can go out there and have a good match with just about anyone. Next match, Miz versus Jeff Hardy. This was 7 minutes and 5 seconds. Okay match. Yeah, I'm a Jeff Hardy mark. And I also like Miz. And this match pretty much was kind of predictable. And it ends with Miz doing skull crushing finale on Jeff. And speaking of another guy who's brought back to put over the young dudes. Jeff still gets a good reaction. Anytime he comes out, the crowd goes nuts. People love Jeff, but this isn't like 2008, 2009 where he gets this monster push, this monster reaction. He just gets a really good reaction when he comes out. So he's not gonna be the superstar he once was. He's again, it's kind of like a Rey Mysterio situation where he'll probably be in the world title hunt or be in a world title match or whatever you want to call it. Because again, WWE, they like doing the whole, this is the first time you'll ever watch this in the history of forever. But again, Jeff Hardy versus AJ Styles, another good match, but Jeff ain't going to win shit. Miz wins, which I predicted. Next match is Seth Rollins versus Bobby Lashley. Oh my god. Even the Saudi Arabians did not give two shits about Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley is just terrible. He lost. I'm just going to cut to it. Bobby Lashley sucks. I would think he could have a good match with at least Seth, but he can't have a good match with Seth. It's kind of like what I say about Baron Corbin or Jinder Mahal. Those guys can't even have good matches with a guy like AJ. And if you can't have a good match with AJ, then you suck. I'm sorry. And it's not AJ's fault. AJ's doing the best he can, but it's just Bobby Lashley is just not very good. A guy like Bobby Lashley is placed in the same category as a guy like Corbin or Mahal. They are not very good. They kind of have a very limited moveset, and they're just not very good. They're terrible. Bobby Lashley is just a big old bowl of meh. And the fact that they're sticking Leo Rush to try and get this fucker over, I feel sorry for Leo because Leo's very talented. You should have kept Leo back on 205 Live because you're killing this guy trying to put this giant piece of shit over. But yeah, Seth won. 5 minutes 30 seconds. The final match of the first round is Dolph Ziggler versus Kurt Angle. 8 minutes and 10 seconds. Kurt doesn't look all that great. I mean, I'll take that back. He looks like he's in good shape, but as far as like being a wrestler, he's not the wrestler he once was. He's not the guy he was like 10 years ago. It just, I don't know, it looked kind of awkward. He wasn't really moving around the ring all that much. I mean, all that fast. And I noticed, I don't know if this shouldn't be that big of a deal, but when he was taking the pin for Dolph, when Dolph went for a zigzag, he had his eyes open when he was getting pinned. I would think if you're getting pinned, you're supposed to have your eyes closed. I don't know. Those are just like tiny things I noticed, I guess. And gotta give Dolph credit. Dolph sells like a motherfucker, and he was making Kurt shit look good. But Kurt. I mean, it looks like he's maybe coming back as a wrestler, maybe part time. So I don't know what his role is going to be. I don't know if sorry, that's my Snapchat. I don't know if he's coming back part time or if he's coming back to take over, being the commissioner or not the commissioner, general manager of Raw again. Yeah, but I don't know. It was an okay match. It wasn't amazing, but it was okay. A lot of these matches in the tournament are just okay, especially the final. Oh shit! What the fuck was that? That was my Facebook. My bad. Next match is the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. It's the Bar versus the New Day. 10 minutes 30 seconds. The Bar came out with Big Show for I don't know why Big Show's even joined up with him. It makes zero sense. The New Day made their entrance on a giant flying carpet, which I guess whatever. And it's basically the match you've seen like 20 million times between these two. I mean, not that these two have bad matches, but it's just like we already know what's going to happen. It's very predictable what New Day does. Not that New Day does bad matches, but same thing with the Bar. Not that they don't have good matches, but it's just predictable. We've seen this. These two feuded in 2016 for, a very big chunk of the year. And we already know what they're going to do. So, anyways, the match ends with Big Show punching Big E in the face because he can, I guess. The Bar retained their titles, which I called. Yeah, that was it. That's really all I've got to say about the match. Next match is a semifinal match, World Cup. The Miz versus Rey Mysterio. 11 minutes and 15 seconds. Okay match. Again, this is basically the night Rey Mysterio just gets the shit beat out of him in every match. I don't know. I guess a lot of people assumed Ray wasn't gonna wrestle 2 matches, but I kind of disagreed. Ray can still go. So yeah, Miz, pretty decent back and forth. Ray and Miz actually had a match on SmackDown a couple weeks ago. It was actually pretty good, and they had a pretty good match tonight or today, whatever you want to call it. It was just okay. Ray selling, that he's hurt. And he kicked out of a skull-crushing finale. He goes for 619. He takes his time because he's trying to sell those rib injuries. He goes for a frog splash. Miz sticks up his knees to counter into a pin. 1, 2, 3. Miz wins. Miz, apparently, I think he lost his voice or he got laryngitis or something. So yeah, that was it. And Miz moves on to the finals. Next match, Dolph Ziggler versus Dolph Ziggler versus Seth Rollins. 13 minutes and 5 seconds. I think the longest match of the night, or the longest match of the tournament. Again, okay match, but again, we've seen these two wrestle multiple times. I was under the assumption that they were gonna have it was gonna be Kurt Angle and Seth, to have that dream match and to build Kurt as the All-American hero, but this whole night is full of I don't know what the fuck I'm watching and I don't know what the fuck is gonna happen next. Which in some cases is a good thing, but for tonight, no. And we'll find out why. Again, okay match. Dolph was selling an ankle injury that I believe he had, that I believe he suffered against Kurt when Kurt was going for, an ankle lock. Dolph wins by Drew McIntyre interfering, which I was under the assumption that Dean was going to interfere in this match somehow. Because Dean was he appeared in Saudi Arabia for a press junket. So I was like, okay, I guess he's going to interfere, because I had it to where it was going to be Seth and The Miz in the finals. And that, Dean was going to appear and, screw Seth. Which I was like, okay, awesome. And no Dean. Dean did not interfere. Dolph, for whatever reason, beat Seth, which makes zero fucking sense. I mean, yeah, he interfered, but I mean, again, yeah, Drew interfered. But why have this feud that people already know about? Why bring, Dean to Saudi Arabia and not have him interfere at all? So, again, that's WWE booking for him. So yeah, next match, AJ Styles versus Samoa Joe for the WWE Championship. This has become deja vu. We've seen these two wrestle 20 million times, and the results always been the same. They've always had good matches, but nobody cares. It seems like the company doesn't care about Samoa Joe, or they really think of him as anything, and it's starting to seem like they don't think of AJ as really much of anything, which sucks. But originally, we all know the match was supposed to be AJ and Daniel Bryan, but Daniel Bryan made it clear that he didn't want to go that he did not want to go to Saudi Arabia. As a matter of fact, this is actually made even before, I think even before the whole thing with the journalist that was killed. Because the story, and I'm listening to wrestling, the Wrestling Soup. Mish did a post show, which it's fucking amazing. Mish laughing has now become one of my favorite sounds. Which that sounds kind of creepy, but it is what it is. He pointed out that I believe Daniel didn't even want to go even before the whole journalist thing because he didn't like how they treated gays, and also Sami Zayn is a Muslim, and apparently Saudi Arabia doesn't treat Muslims right. Or I need to get the whole story straight first, but apparently Sami Zayn wasn't allowed in Saudi Arabia. So he didn't want to go, and apparently at the Super Show in Australia, he even told, WWE, just let Miz win because I don't want to go. And they let Daniel Bryan win, which I was like, okay. And so yeah, he let them know in advance more than once, I'm not going to Saudi Arabia. And they advertised the match, they booked him in the match, and he kept telling them, I don't want to fucking go. So in the end, they had the match. Him and AJ had a match on SmackDown, which, pretty good match. It's expected that these two are going to have a good match, but overall it's a very good match. With AJ, going over, obviously, and then, Samoa Joe attacking. So at the end of the day, AJ was still going to go, and AJ needed an opponent, and they needed a championship match. They were promised a championship match, so they, I guess, went with a good substitute, I guess, with Joe, but I don't know. They probably should have found someone else besides Joe. I mean, again, it was last second, I understand, but I don't know. That's just me. AJ will be closing in on, I think, this past Tuesday, it will be 365 days. Or this coming Tuesday, he will be crossing, 365 days as WWE Champion, which is, an interesting feat. All right, next match. Brock Lesnar with Paul Heyman versus Braun Strowman for the Universal Championship. I learned the hard way I learned the hard way after watching this match that I should never, ever, 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 ever underestimate the love this company has for Brock Lesnar. And I get it, Brock Lesnar's a star. Because Brock will still get a reaction anywhere he goes. As soon as that guitar riff hits in his theme, the whole crowd goes fucking nuts. And the Saudi Arabian crowd was going pretty nuts when they heard his theme. when Braun came out, he got an all right reaction. So here's how the match begins. Or here's everything that happens when these two hit the ring. The announcers, he announces both guys. Baron Corbin's at ringside, and as soon as I saw Baron Corbin, I'm like, he's gonna fuck with this match somehow. He comes in the ring. He shows both guys the title. As he's walking out, he hits Braun in the back of the head with the title, with the Universal Championship, and then he leaves. To which Brock is just going, okay, and proceeds to just make Braun look like a complete bitch. He F5s him about 3 times, Braun kicks out, and then he F5s him outside of the ring. He comes back into the ring, and he takes off his gloves. And I'm thinking, is he just going to bitch slap him? No, he decides to go for another F5. Braun gets out. He somehow gets into the corner. He kicks Brock in the face, and then he decides to go after him, and Brock counters into an F5, a fifth F5. 1, 2, 3, pins him. Brock is now the Universal Champion again. This match lasted 3 minutes and 15 seconds. 3 minutes and 15 seconds. I know Baron interfered, which I smelled something fishy as soon as I saw him by ringside. It's almost kind of funny when you think about it in a weird way. Brock, again, this company loves him. He's still an attraction. He still makes money. He still sells merch. I guess they want him to be champion so that way, now that he's going back to UFC, they can say, you know, oh, he's a dual champion. He's a UFC champion. He's WWE champion. Or Universal champion, I guess. But I think this is, if any moment has completely ruined Braun Strowman in the fans' eyes, I think this is it. You had the opportunity to do the right thing and give Braun that title. And I guess I'm going to be a mark and say, you know, that Braun's here every day. He's actually full-time, you know, kind of like Roman was. But I don't know. I guess they need to retire that fucking title already, because that Universal Championship is cursed. Because you look at it, Finn wins. Finn is the first ever Universal Champion. He gets hurt during the match that he wins, and he has to surrender it the next fucking night. And then, what else happens? Kevin Owens wins it. He ends up jobbing to Goldberg in 15 seconds. And Goldberg pretty much just like sat at home and defended against Brock, and Brock wins it after him and is champion for a year and a half. Roman wins it and has to give it up because it was revealed that he has leukemia, which, you know, I'm not saying that's on him, but that title is just cursed. They have to retire it. Like, go back to just having one title. When this whole Fox deal happens and they head over to Fox, just I'm on the mindset of retire the freaking Universal Championship and just go back to just it being the WWE Championship. Retire the Universal Championship. Retire the U.S. Championship. Go back to having one set of tag titles and women's championships, and keep the Cruiserweight title. But just get rid of that Universal Championship. That title, that is just fucking cursed. It's a joke. It's a joke of a championship. Let's just be real. The fact that they keep even trying to sell it as, you know, it's, you know, as a title that's, you know, equal with the world title, it's a fucking joke. I mean, I think the Cruiserweight Championship has more fucking, like, you know, legitimacy than this Universal Championship. You know, but Brock Lesnar is your Cruiserweight Champion. I mean, not your Cruiserweight Champion, your Universal Champion. Again, for how long is to be determined. So, yeah. I'm really stoked to see that Braun Strowman versus Baron Corbin feud. Ugh. And supposedly the storyline is, you know, coming out of the match, from what I heard from somebody, Stephanie McMahon is pissed off at Baron Corbin. So, if I had to guess, Veronica Side on Raw is she's going to fire Baron, but keep him as a wrestler. And he's in it feuding with Braun. Or maybe that leads into something for Survivor Series, Team Baron versus Team Braun. And if Baron's team loses, then Baron's fired. That's the only way I can guess it. Yeah. Next match. The match of the night, actually. The World Cup final match, which was supposed to be The Miz versus Dolph Ziggler. Here's what happens. Miz comes out. Well, actually, yeah, Miz and Dolph come out. The ref tells Drew McIntyre to go to the back because he knows he's going to interfere like the last match. He tells him to go to the back. And, you know, before the bell even rings, Miz decides to beat the shit out of Dolph. Throws him out of the ring, and Miz jumps out of the ring. He hurts his leg. I'm not sure if this was legit or if this was, you know, part of the show. I have a feeling it might have been, you know, part of the act, and I'll get into why. So yeah, the Miz can't wrestle. He can't go on, and they're telling Shane, no, he can't wrestle, and Shane's saying, you know, fuck that, this is the finals, we're not going to forfeit. He's telling the announcer, you know, shut the fuck up. We're not forfeiting, we're not going down that way, I'll take his spot. Takes off his shirt, decides to, you know, enter himself in the tournament, and wrestles Dolph. And it's what you think a Shane McMahon match would be. You know, Shane has good matches, you know, given the right opponent. And of course, Dolph is selling the shit, you know, for Shane to make him look legit. Shane goes for coast to coast and pins him 1, 2, 3. Shane McMahon is now your World Cup winner and also the best in the world. And oh my god, it killed me. It just killed me because, like, he's running around the ring and he looks like he's happy. Like, he's very happy that he won. But just think of it this way. Their first ever best in the world, you know, World Cup tournament ends with a McMahon being the best in the world. I'm just picturing CM Punk hearing about this and just wanting to die a little inside. Because it's like, not only did you take my moniker, but you gave it to a McMahon. And I even made a meme of, I put CM Punk, or not CM Punk, I put Shane McMahon's face over CM Punk's body. Just alluding to that Shane McMahon is now the best in the world. So, here's where the whole Miz injury comes into play. I'm thinking, because the stipulation that Shane McMahon made for the SmackDown roster was that if you don't win, if you lose to, you know, anyone on Raw, which was going to happen because it was, you know, Raw side versus SmackDown side. If you lose and Raw wins, you'll be fired. So that's why I was thinking SmackDown was going to win. I did not see this fucking coming from a mile away. I did not at all. So here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking Miz, you know, faked his injury. Because I don't know. Because Miz has never been hurt. As far as I'm concerned, Miz has never gotten hurt. I'm thinking he faked his injury so that way Shane had no choice but to enter himself in, or to pull an audible, or to call an audible. So, I don't know. We're going to find out on SmackDown. So, it's kind of like it's not really that similar. Like the whole Chris Benoit and Booker T Best of 7 series back in 2006 for the United States title, where, you know, Booker was hurt and he had, you know, someone take his place, which was Randy Orton. So, yeah, Shane McMahon is the best in the world. I think this company has officially pissed away any and all sympathy that Shane McMahon has, because it's agreeable. Shane is the least hateable out of the whole McMahon family, but I think now he's kind of like, I think he's starting to get up there, and I don't think it's his fault, because I don't think Shane wants to wrestle, but they make him wrestle. So, and I don't think Shane's in a position where he can say no. Maybe he is. He's McMahon. He can do it if he wants, but the match of the night. I'm telling you, 5 stars. This match was 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Yeah. To make way for the longest match of the night, the main event, Degeneration X versus the Brothers of Destruction. This match was 27 minutes and 45 seconds. Of course it was. It had to be. Listen, the Prince of Saudi Arabia was a fan of the Attitude Era. He became a fan of the Attitude Era, so this is why this match became a thing and was, you know, the main event of anything. Because he's a fan of Degeneration X, Brothers of Destruction. At the end of the day, these guys are going to get big reactions, but I think I kind of zoned out of this match. Taker can't really, I mean, it's obvious Taker can't do it anymore. You know, Kane has, you know, titties and a weird fruit by the foot or fruit roll-up mask and a big stomach to match. And then you got, you know, Triple H, who looks like a caveman. And Triple H can still go. Shawn Michaels, who hasn't wrestled in 8 years and looks like a mini Triple H. As a matter of fact, for a second, I put this on Twitter, they kind of looked like the Basham brothers to me. If anyone remembers who the Basham brothers were, they were both bald guys who wore leather. And, Shawn, Shawn was able to still kind of go. I mean, again, it was kind of like Kurt Angle in a way. But, Shawn was able to move around a lot more. He's always, kept himself in good shape, and he's been gone for a very long time. And, he made it clear after the match that, after this, he's a ghost. So, which I doubt he'll be back at Mania. Or maybe he'll be in the Rumble, but more than likely he'll be back at Mania. This match was everything you thought it'd be. Degeneration X won over. There was kind of a funny point in the match where Triple H is throwing Undertaker towards the barricade. Or, no, actually, what happened? Undertaker was throwing Triple H, to the barricade. And he ended up throwing himself at the same time. I really hope Undertaker is gone after WrestleMania. I really hope that's his last match. Because supposedly he came out and said that WrestleMania, that's coming up at New York is going to be his last match. I really hope that's the case, because I get it. Taker is supposed to be an attraction, but I'm done. I'm done with the attraction. I love Taker. I respect Taker, but he's done. I want him to be done with whatever the hell he thinks he's trying to do. But yeah, he's this match was whatever you thought everything you thought it'd be. The whole crowd was literally chanting, "This is awesome," which again, that's what they wanted to see. I can't knock them for wanting to see that, but so yeah, that was my Crown Jewel review. If I had to get this pay-per-view sucked. When I look at it, the Crown Jewel match, the tournament, they didn't put a lot of effort in it. It made no sense, the type of picks they were choosing. I mean, with the finals, did Miz actually get hurt? Because I haven't heard anything about him actually getting hurt. So I'm thinking he faked, the injury, per storyline. So I don't know. But yeah, Shane is now your best in the world guy. The Saudis love Degeneration X and Undertaker and Kane. Again, not going to hold that against them. So yeah, what do I take away from this pay-per-view? Brock Lesnar is the Universal Champion. His next match is against AJ Styles, which is a rematch from last year's Survivor Series, which is going to be at Survivor Series. So far, the card for Survivor Series is all the champions versus the champions. AJ versus Brock, part 2, which it's a shame because AJ is more than likely going to job to Brock. Nakamura versus Seth, which on paper it should be a good match, but it'll probably not be the case. It'll probably just be a okay match. The next match, Becky. I keep calling her Becky Bayless for some reason. Becky Lynch versus Ronda Rousey, the both women's champion. It should be a good match. This should probably be Ronda's best match. It should. So we'll see how that works. And more than likely, you're going to hear about traditional Survivor Series matches. On SmackDown, Paige approached Charlotte about being the captain for the SmackDown women's team, and Charlotte said, "I don't think I'm the right choice," which she'll more than likely concede to it. Which, who's going to be the captain of Team Raw? I'm assuming if I had to pick, Natty, I guess. And then you got the Men's Survivor Series. Fucking up my words. The men's side. The captain of Team SmackDown, I'm assuming, I guess Miz, if I had to guess. and Shane McMahon is more likely going to be a part of it. And then for Team Raw, I don't know. I guess Baron Corbin. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen, guys. All I know is it's Raw, so it'll probably suck. Highlights and lowlights. Lowlights the whole fucking show. The biggest lowlight for me is Brock making Braun look like a bitch, and Braun, I think, he doesn't look good after this. Highlights. I don't know what. I honestly don't know what. Even the matches that weren't bad were just okay. I don't know who to pick. I guess highlights would be Shane being the best in the fucking world. That should be a low light, but it's actually kind of a highlight because it just made me laugh. Yeah, I guess Mysterio and Miz in the second round was an okay match. It was a pretty good match. So yeah, if I had to rate this pay-per-view, oh boy, 5 out of 10. It's probably not as bad as Backlash, but it's up there. It was a very bad pay-per-view. But again, they weren't trying to sell this show to us. This is for the Saudis. So this is why you see Triple H, who's the youngin in this match. He's 49, and then you got Shawn Michaels, Kane, and Undertaker, who are all in their 50s. So that was for the Saudis, and that was for the Prince. He wanted to see Attitude Era stars. So there you go. Next pay-per-view is Survivor Series, November 16th. Wow, like they have 2 weeks to build this shit up. Which again, the majority of the matches are just champion versus champion, and then the men versus the men of Raw versus the men of SmackDown, the women of Raw versus the women of SmackDown. Then I'm assuming the cruiserweights are going to do something. So yeah, there's that, and then the pay-per-view after that is TLC, which is December 16th, which is when I graduate from college. But that's another story for another time. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have to talk about. That is my review for Crown Jewel. I feel terrible. I just feel terrible for how they built up this tournament, only to have it with Shane McMahon be the fucking winners. If there was ever a moment where the company decided to say "go fuck yourself" to all the fans, I think this is it. I know I just said this company that the event was more marketed toward the Saudi Arabian audience and to the Saudi Arabian prince, whatever. But I think this is a giant fuck you to the fans. And fuck you right back. So yeah, that is it. That's pretty much it. Very short show, very cut and dry. I will edit and post the show. It's already tomorrow. You know what time it is? It's tomorrow. It's tomorrow, and I will edit and post the show. And you know where to find me: Twitter, Drew Show. Spreaker is my home base. So just when you have time, head over to Spreaker, give it listen to the show, give it a follow. Leave a comment, leave a review. Same thing for anything like iTunes, whatever podcast platform you use, Google Play, Stitcher, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and YouTube. I'm on YouTube, of course. I'm starting to sound like the fucking Grudge. But yeah, that's about it, guys. Yeah. If you listen to the show, thank you. I appreciate it. And I will be back next week, same time, same place. And take care.